Oh, well, my dear. You must have seen this whole ranting and battle online about Fela Anikilapo and WIZKID FC. Or, if we want to be accurate, we rather say the whole back and forth between Seun Anikilapo and WIZKID. Now, you see that I draw two variances because if we are not careful, we will be missing the point. The first questions, I've read so many, thoughts. I've listened to so many, speakers react to this thing. But you see, I realized that if we are not careful, right, we will miss the most important part. Who they fight who? That's the first thing we would first ask ourselves. The first question we should ask ourselves is, how come we are having a debate of Fela Anikilapo and WIZKID? How? What is the I don't understand. So I think it is appropriate for us to be careful enough to say that we are having this discourse between Seun Kuti and WIZKID, because that is the one that makes sense. Fela Anikilapo, legend, a man who came, saw and conquered, a man who did not only draw a niche for himself, he creates a standard and establish a legacy. God rest his soul. Fela Anikilapo is undoubtedly a man who actually make a mark. And then WIZKID, later on, I don't even think WIZKID was born when Fela was a teen. So I don't understand where the comparison is coming from. But where did this matter started from? Because you see, it will be important for us to go to the root. In an interview with Olamide Bado, please understand, Olamide Bado, not WIZKID. In an interview with Olamide, he was asked who is the greatest Afrobeat artist. He said, after Fela, underline the word after, it is WIZKID, no doubt. And the whole crowd cheers here. And that didn't go well with Seun Anikilapo, who is Fela's son. Do you know I've taken over a day to ponder over this matter so that I don't go hard. I don't like, it's really, if we start to dig deep in this matter, head go roll low. So Seun in an interview I think he made a video that they should stop comparing his dad with anybody. How will you be comparing WIZKID to my dad and all of those things? As far as he's concerned, he finds that to be insulting to the legacy of his father. I understand what he was explaining, but I disagree with him because you see, it depends on which context you are seeing it. Maybe English language is a problem. If they say after your father is somebody, that means your father is the standard. Your father is up there. And then we can now start stating who is the greatest now. Like your father is not even in the category of the nomination. Your father is like there. And then we are now saying the greatest now. So your father is like Mecca to Muslim. You don't understand. It's far gone. It is an honor to you that they are even referencing your father after 26 years of passing. 26 years of passing. And they are saying they are still rating him over people who are living. And then you have a problem with that. I'm going to refer to a Yoruba proverb. Yoruba says, Ile to banturo, omo alebe ni otida. But the first question you should ask yourself is Seun Kuti the only son of Fela? Matter of fact, Fela has tons of children that even he himself, while he was alive, do not even have an account of them. And he has a couple of his children who has taken this part of music. Ask yourself a question. Why is Seun? Because it's not the first time of him coming for WIZKID. Why is Seun angry? Because you see, this debate should have been, honestly, that who is better between Seun Kuti and WIZKID. Because those are the people in the same league. It will have made sense. You don't understand. This debate will have made sense. We are comparing Seun Kuti with WIZKID. But guess what? The legendary Fela Anikilapo did his thing, pass on. It would have been understandable if his son is part of top 3 of Afrobeat today, but clearly it's not. I'm sorry, since these guys decide to roll in the more women, this English I'm speaking don't mean. But I've listened to Seun play music. I swear in God's name, I don't know any of his album. I don't know any of his track, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. I've seen him play and play his sax. Sax, it's not like you are still alive. BJ Sax is making more money with playing saxophone than Seun Kuti now. What are we talking about? We can count them. It is almost logical to understand where the anger is from, because if they are talking of greatest artists of now, Anikilapo Kuti's son is there and I'm calling somebody else. So I almost understand. Now, WIZKID, see the power, see influence. Oh yeah, let's find out who is the greatest, even from this your battle. For 7 days, sir, you have been ranting online, doing shows every day, attacking WIZKID fans. Unprovoked. WIZKID did not talk to you. WIZKID did not fight you. According to your brother, this WIZKID is a family friend. Though. Your brother, which I'm going to attach to this video, your brother said that WIZKID has always supported everything that you people do. That's your brother. Listen to this. No.
Concerning celebration as well, I mean, he supports celebration with his heart, everything. I mean, doesn't even charge us money. WIZKID is like family. So, I mean, except he's not in the country, he will honor celebration. Just a phone call, I will come, no matter what. He's a very nice person. I mean, when I see some people commenting on Twitter, they don't know WIZKID. But the WIZKID I know is very humble. He really appreciates his family. He appreciates the life he has.
That's your brother. That's Fela Anikilapo speaking about how much WIZKID has identified with the Kuti's family, how he has been supporting, how he show up for every celebration, and all of that. This same WIZKID, who adore your father enough to have his face tattoo in his body. This same WIZKID who has been one of the people that is making this generation to even know who Fela is, that keeps the name ringing in the mind. Whoever is your Igbo plug, changing because things is going bad for you. They are calling WIZKID newborn Fela and you are angry. Why? You should thank WIZKID for keeping your father's legacy. You should actually be grateful to God for WIZKID. Because clearly, WIZKID is doing what you can't do. WIZKID is doing what none of your family is doing. WIZKID is helping your ignorant ass to keep the name and the legacy of Fela Anikilapo. They say somebody is newborn Fela. For somebody to be a newborn Fela, that means there has been Fela. I'm trying to not join you to rubbish the legacy of Fela Anikilapo. But since you want to rubbish somebody's career, let's go there a little bit. I will hold back a little bit until if I see any reaction that provoke me. Because I've did some little research. If you want to compare WIZKID and Fela, it depends on what parameter we are comparing them. Are we comparing WIZKID and Fela, who is the greatest, based on music or something else? If it is music, then we can run the comparison. Again, it will be unfair to even run the comparison because if we go by numbers, WIZKID is far greater than Fela. No questions asked. Forget it. But that will be unfair because the time, that's what I'm saying. You can't compare WIZKID and Fela. It doesn't make sense. Time and chance is the difference between WIZKID and Fela. Time and chance. They are not in the same generation. They didn't happen in the same season. So why should we compare them? Somebody who make a world record where there was no Instagram, no DSTV, nothing, you should give it to him. The guy, the man a baba, the man a legend. So it will be logical to be comparing him with WIZKID. But if having said that, it's not the reason to rubbish the accomplishment of WIZKID. In his own right, he's a legend. The guy has broken barriers. For somebody, you that were born inside music, you've been in the corridor of music, your father was teaching you piano, teaching you saxophone. You have the cushion, the background, the lift to become the best artist in this Africa by nomenclature, by the standard of birth. And why you are alive in your lifetime. One boy, Ibrahim, from the slum of Uju-Elegba, rose up to the pinnacle of his career, rose up to the strata of accomplishment in music, and broke barriers in his time. Fela is great, WIZKID is great. The difference between both of them, time. That is why you cannot be running the comparison. No, it doesn't make sense. But like I said again, on what parameter are we comparing Fela to WIZKID in terms of music? Then it will be fair for me to say that Fela is great and WIZKID is great. It is stupidity for you to compare them. Don't overemphasize Fela's greatness by watering down WIZKID. This is the problem with Africa. We have this either or, this black and white mentality. Why can't Fela be great and WIZKID be great? Why can't both of them be great? Why do we have to? It doesn't even make any sense. They are not on the. You only compare things that are in the same standard to say which one is better. Compare WIZKID with Davido. Compare WIZKID with Burna Boy. Compare WIZKID with anybody. Compare with no, don't do that. That's not fair. You can't compare WIZKID with Seun Kuti. Sorry. Compare him with anybody in his time. It makes sense. You can't compare WIZKID with Fela. Now, so if we are going by music, they are both great. That's the answer. Period. But you see, the problem is that when I've been hearing the argument, everybody will have been saying, WIZKID is good. This one, they want to explain the greatness of Fela when we talk about Fela. The problem I have with all of you is that you are mentioning the greatness of Fela. You are not talking about musical accomplishments. You are talking about he fought for the freedom of this. He fought for the freedom of. This is where 31st shirts thing. Fela is many things in his lifetime. So if you want to talk about he sing music to tackle the system, he question the authority, it will be fair. You will have to get the balance for you to equally mention that as much as is somebody who speak up for the common man, is also one of the roots and father of social menace in Nigeria. Don't hide from that reality. Fela is the first person that we have to dance naked on stage and literally hump on women on the stage while performing. The madness today. Igbo becomes like paracetamol today. One of the people, in fact, when you say Igbo, close your eyes to picture Igbo, the image that comes to your head is Fela. That's what we call social malay. So as much as you want to tell us that he fought for people, he equally is part of the decadence of the society that the youths are thriving on today. Every person they hold with like this, the person that comes to their head is Fela. Fela married 23 wives in one day. Fela, after decades that he has passed, in an interview with Fela Kuti, was saying that after their father passed, they did DNA test and 56 out of the children are not even his. Gather bastard left and right. Who knows whether Seun is one of them? Because to this thing you are doing, claiming that you are defending your father's legacy, no, you want to rubbish. You are packing your father's legacy and putting it inside Sansan for no reason. You want water down the legacy of your father, because you see, like I said, I will hold back in some faces until I see any reaction that will trigger me, so that we can go. Because you see, everybody saying Fela is a legend, Fela is a legend. I'm not disagreeing with that, but please, can we go into specific what is legendary about him? What did he actually do? He sing about freedom and the corruption of the system. He's not the only one. People like Victor Wafo, YK Dairo, many. Do you know that people like King Sunny Ade have more musical impact and influence than Fela Anikilapo? Are you people aware of that? Do your research. What are we talking about? Because you see, we are getting carried away by his legend. We respect him. We adore him in his lifetime. People love him because of his not for his genre of music, because he was speaking against the system. Which some of them, if you go into history, let's go into specific stories where you take cognizance, some of them are actually hooliganism. And that's the fact. That is the freaking fact. Fela fought for his own freedom of speech, freedom of expression. Fela spoke for, he fight for freedom. You people are talking about Fela like you are talking about Nelson Mandela, like you are talking about Martin Luther King. Where is the freedom today? People like Martin Luther King, they stood up and they fought and they got it. This freedom that you see we are saying Fela from, where is the freedom? Where is it at? Like I said, I will not want to go there yet. You people provoke me because we are scholars. Some of us are not Gen Zs. We met Fela alive. See, you understand? We study history. We can tell some things. Again, let me close by addressing this unpronounced war between the millennial and the Gen Z. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't understand why the old folks are just hating on the young ones who are supposed to be their future. It's madness. Nothing but straight up madness. Straight up madness. Because that's the only reason why you people always say, because they don't do things your own way. Who says your way is right? Their ways might not align with yours. Who says your way is right? Can you let this young generation live their own life and make their own mistakes for God's sake? Lastly, Seun Kuti, we are supposed to be having this debate about who is great between you and WIZKID, not your dad. So what happened to your own career? I don't know any of your song. I've seen you play sax. It's bad. You are literally existing today on the wings of the legacy of your father. Imagine if Fela Anikilapo is not who he is. You will be one charlatan on one nuisance smoking weed under one mango tree. But yes, we will not water the legacy of your father down because you were going to choose that Yao. For real. Why we are supposed to be comparing you and WIZKID? No, leave your father alone. We are supposed to be comparing you and WIZKID. Are you not alive? Is this not a shame that we are not even debating with that between Seun Kuti and WIZKID? We are going to Fela that has died 26 years ago. So now, to all of you who are reacting all of a sudden, for 7 days, this nuisance was coming for WIZKID and his fans. Nobody talk anything. You are watching it. WIZKID has not done one show. See greatness, say ogo, say power. WIZKID has not done one show. Just tweets, Insta story. Last song, I woke up this morning. Even TV station, some girls just gather themselves. Would I start talking trash? Everything is bad in Nigeria now. Journalists will just come online and just be talking rubbish. I don't have a problem with anybody having a position, but at least do diligence, do your research. How come you did not see Seun all along? And now you want to talk. But from a positive side, you talk for 7 days. Nobody react to it. They are looking at you. It's just you say you are fighting WIZKID FC. Who is WIZKID FC, Joe? Where are they? Where is their headquarters? Where is their head office? Where's their office address? You know they actually don't exist. You are literally fighting people that don't exist. Fan is fan. Fan is not. You make it sound like they have one meeting. Does even WIZKID know his fan? But o mọ̀ pé àgbà tí ò bá níṣẹ́ ló máa ń mọye nọ́mbà ọkọ̀. Àgbà tí ò níṣẹ́ ní ilé òun náà máa ń fún ní NEPA bill dání. It's because you don't have anything to do with your life. Your career, we can't say your career died because he was never alive. Never alive. We are supposed to be comparing you with WIZKID. You are on the advantage side than WIZKID. What happened to your life? You spoke for 7 days. Internet did nobody see you. WIZKID tweet one day. Everywhere burst. I put it to you. Who is greater between you and WIZKID? No, we cannot. That's an insult. Who is greater between Fela and WIZKID? Because you are proving this thing right. But especially for the fact that he never said so. He never said so. This is the part that pissed me off. They asked WIZKID in an interview, comparing him with Fela, and this is what he has to say.
You can't compare. Let's not use that word because that's like a disrespect when you're like mentioning WIZKID and Fela in the same sentence. It's like you can't compare. That's like someone that inspires me. I have him tatted on me. Like Fela's face is on my body, so like you can't compare, man. He just inspires me, and everything like he's done with his music and his legacy like inspires me to be great and to want to do more. You can't compare, like.
This boy, when they ask him with his own mouth, he stopped them, say, no compare him, no try him. This is somebody that inspires me. But you want to come for him. I did a little research, Seun Kuti, to just check your stream. And Bolu, you know Bolu? Come, I will tell you, Bolu now WIZKID's son. Do you know Bolu have more stream than Seun Kuti? Since you want to compare WIZKID, where normally you almost feel born, to your father wey don die 26 years ago, it's okay to compare you since the logo with Bolu, and guess what? Bolu is still having more stream than you. My nigga, get out, man. Get out, man. Like I said, there is still more. There is still more. Just depending on if people provoke me, I will now go into specific. We will look into that. So we want to be using legendary for Fela. What did he actually legend? See, if she want us to go there, we will go there. Because we are children of history.